Good morning. Hi, everybody. I really decided to recheck all my dimensions on this um, ongoing saga of the Bobcat sculpture, and I really got down to saying, okay, I don't want to do any more fur until I'm really happy with the dimensions. So I'm going to go through it right now, and then I'm going to come back to this back view. And oops, I dropped a paintbrush there. I'm going to come back to this back view and just start to work a little bit on that because we really haven't paid much attention to that. And let's go through this morning. And there's one more view I really think is so important in our collection of views. Let's see, the front. Yes. All right. So I had someone say, "Oh, aren't the legs too short?" And I really checked this now. I thought there's nobody's going to be able to say the legs are too short because I've got the proof here. This is what they look like. So the first area is this area from the foot to where the leg connects into the chest, or it doesn't connect to the chest. It connects through the shoulder, but it sort of stops right in there as the cat is sitting. So I have that area right there, and that's important right here. I'm going to have my proof that it's right. So, and then the second thing I wanted to show was this little kind of bib that's in the front, and it's harder for you to see it from there. Let me go to the next view. I should put my chair over here today, and I didn't. That's okay. I'll put that right there. The other camera view will let you see what I'm talking about. Oops. Let's see. There we go. All right. So if I can bring this up a little closer. There we go. My lighting is always a challenge. Always will try to improve that in the next studio I have, which I'll be setting up in the next, probably be 4 months from now to be realistic, my new studio. Okay, so let's do the next measurement. The feet. Maybe that's a good place to show you because there you can see, if you look at the previous videos, you'll see they're substantially smaller, whereas it's hard to see here, but the height, I'm getting the height now on these paws. I should call them paws. And so same with this. And they're not quite articulated perfectly at this point, but it does look a lot better to have the feet be. And again, this is all about what I've been talking about, which is about proportions are so important to get right. So let's look at another dimension that's important. All right. So these areas of the shoulder, you have the foot to the kind of elbow area. You can see I'm pretty close to that. Then you have this muscle that comes out here. And maybe I go to the widest part of it. Oops. All right. It could be almost a little higher as you go. Well, the highest point's up there. Let's see. I mean, it's pretty close. And then where this indent comes, where the shoulder muscle starts. Let's do that. We're going to get a little wider. Wait a minute. Let me lay it down for a minute to get it just right. Okay. And, it's pretty close. So all these little, let's do the hip area. All these little things matter because in the end, you stop being able to see. I could bring that a little higher. And that's what I wanted to do today. See this? I'm going to make a mark there. Let's get it just right. I'm going to do it again. It's hard for you to see. Let me go down. Wait, not that camera. This camera. There we go. If I can tilt that down a little bit. I've got it so tight. Let me untighten it so I can tilt it a little for you. There we go. And you can see I'm measuring and there's some fur here, so it can be a little play there. And I'm gonna put that, maybe it's pretty close. I mean, it's not that bad. The other thing that really threw me off, there's my little camera moving, is this back view. Let's show you the back view, because that's what I'm going to just finish working on today. All right, so you have the back view. When I first started on this, I thought that is way too fat. It's just so fat in the back looking. I thought maybe I need to adjust that. Maybe you'll remember I was saying that. But it turns out that it's right. It really is right. What's not right is a few of the forms in here. And those are defined by some of this tufting here. Let me show you that tufting when they sit. Oops. Okay, so there's this area here, and it's kind of a tuft. And so that would come out down here. I'll just let me measure it better, up and down, and then put it right. I'll just make a line like that. And same on the other side. And what I need to do is dramatize that tufting in the back, because look at this. Oops. See how it starts to shoot out? The fur direction is shown here. And you can see it starts to shoot out. So that's something I need to do. And we can work on that today. And then promise you guys, the next time we're done with the form and it's all about doing fur at that point. And I won't backtrack anymore, because I really do think my proportions are right. Also, you could go through and measure the head. I did, and I'm very satisfied with my measurements for the head. So that being finally done, and I did work a little bit extra, off my time with you to get these volumes set more correctly. I can see there's a little more that goes on here. Now what I'm doing right now, and I'll try to show you, is, let's bring this camera down, working with the hot clay. I've got a kind of a ball of hot clay. It's very easy to maneuver. It's almost like, if you've ever worked in water-based clay, when I warm it up, it's nice and malleable and gooey. And so what I'm going to do is take my back view and see how far out that tuft of fur is going to come. Let me do this. All right. Now that's way wide. I don't know if I'm going to come out that wide. Let's see. That's extremely wide. Well, I'm not sure about that. But what I can tell you is it doesn't go in the way I have it. It actually comes out. So I'll try that. It doesn't feel right. The picture says it does that. And this is an example of why your guide is so important, because I would think, that doesn't feel quite right the way that looks. But I'll bet you it is. And so I'm going to actually do it, and we'll see how that looks when I'm all done. I can always edit it back, but it's just like when I started with the back of the body here. I thought there's no way it's that wide. And, there's fur here and there's fur here, and that will help that look a little better. And also, you can see this. Look at the direction that fur is supposed to go in from the back. It's supposed to kind of sweep up. So that's an important little clue there too. So I'll just start to put this on. I know you guys thinking this is never going to get done. Well, it will. It's just that this is the process that you go through. And this is what I'm so worried about being boring. But then I realized, if you guys really want to learn sculpture, this is what everybody has to face. You look at things and you go, wow, there's something not right, and I don't know what it is. And you've been working and working, and you might have to tear it down and then redo it. You might have to. I mean, because if you're trying to achieve something that really looks like the animal, this is the process that it takes. So you wouldn't see this from the front, and you wouldn't see this from the side. The only clue you get from the side view is this area right here. And that's basically coming, you couldn't tell in the beginning, but from the back view, that's coming forward. Now you can tell. And so this little furry cat is sitting down, and his fur, which is very tufty on that back end, is flaring outward. Anybody have any questions? Oh yeah, Mark knows. And especially, I have to point out, Mark Maker, and anyone who's new on this channel, please look at his channel, Mark Maker. He's a wood sculptor, and the thing about wood, you can make changes with this. This is very forgiving, but once you cut something, right, Mark, you cannot easily fix it without like gluing or losing the integrity of a single piece of wood. And I'm sure it's a lot more challenging in that way. And so for him to have really good plans right at the beginning is essential. You really have to know ahead of time what you're going to do. Now, in clay, you get to learn so much because it's so forgiving. If I make a mistake, I just rip it apart. Like you saw me, I don't know if you saw me rip things apart, but I did rip things apart the other day in order to make the changes I needed. Not overly so, but in the front end, and I'll show you that again, I really did rip things up to make those changes, because if it's not right, I'm trying to get it right. But you can't always see everything from your plans. And then that's when you have to go to like a video and really try to start to look at it in 3D. And that's why I'm making these plans free right now, because I don't really know where they're all headed. I can give you the best idea I have at the beginning, but then in the end, I can redo the plans and put them with the finished sculptures and put the extra detail in there. Now see, that's getting really hard. So I get out my heat gun, and I'm just going to make that soften right up. All right. I love the heat gun. I'm getting to love it more and more. I didn't used to use a heat gun in the old days. I don't know why. I guess we just didn't do it. But nowadays, boy, is it a nice addition. All right, so now that doesn't look quite right yet, but I'm going in the direction that the picture tells me to go into. Let's take a look again. See that flare out? It goes, and also it goes more under here. I can see that. So what I don't have right, it doesn't go straight down. There's more of a curve going on here. So all of this is a challenge, but it's a worthwhile challenge. Let me cut into that. And I have let's see what tool I have. This tool has the little lines in it. When you're cutting in like this, you could just use a regular, let me hold it still for you and bring it up. And I am going to get another camera. I like this camera, but I want to be able to, zoom in and out for you guys. And that's coming next, promise. So, this is going to bow in here, and I'm looking at this, and it's going to come around. This is going to come out. All right, so that process is ongoing. And I'm making a mess. That's okay. Made a bigger mess than this. All right, let's get that all together. Off to the side. There we go. Oh, and before I go today, it's 8:14. I want to show you something very helpful. This is going to sound like an ad, but this is not an ad. Let me switch to the other. I'm not selling this. Let me switch to the other view. Oops, there's my limit. Okay, hold on, and I'm going to show you this. So I'm always working in clay and then having to switch to things. Let me dismiss that. Dismiss. Okay. All right. This stuff is so great. Fast orange, and I play guitar too, so I wash my hands with that. It has like a pumice in it, and it doesn't dry your hands out. So when I'm done and I want to get this clay off my hands really fast, I use this and a nail brush. Again, fast orange. So I look like an ad. But it's really, really helpful as you're, trying to multitask as I am. And I have, I go up and fix my dog food and I want to get the clay off my hands real fast, and it just takes it off nicely. So, so I'm going to go, but I'm going to continue to fix this back end, and I'm going to also fix the tail because I haven't really paid attention to that. And I really want to finally do the fur and complete it. And I will do that next time. Next week will be our last week for the buck, and then on to the wool. So, bye everybody.